All right, so you're thinking about studying in Canada, eh? Cool. But before you start packing your bags and practicing your best Canadian accent, we need to talk about something super important: the statement of purpose.
Yeah, the SOP. It's basically your ticket to getting into a Canadian university.
It's kind of like a first impression, right? A chance to tell them who you are and why you want to study in Canada.
Exactly. It's your chance to show them you're serious about your studies and that you'll be a great addition to their university community.
So, where do we even begin? What are the must haves for a killer Canadian SOP?
Well, first off, you need to show them why you've chosen Canada.
And I'm guessing just saying because Canada is beautiful isn't going to cut it.
Not really. You need to be more specific. Think about Canada's unique strengths in your field of study. Maybe they have world-renowned researchers in your area or cutting-edge labs and facilities that you're excited about.
So it's all about doing your research and showing them that you've chosen Canada for specific reasons.
Right. It shows you're serious and that you've put some thought into it. Now, another crucial element is your academic background.
So this is where we talk about our grades and academic achievements.
Yes, but it's not just about listing your GPA. You need to tell the story behind those grades. What sparked your passion for this field? What challenges did you overcome? What experiences shaped your academic journey?
So instead of just saying, I got an A in physics, I could talk about how building a robot in high school ignited my love for engineering.
Exactly. Bring those experiences to life and show them how they've led you to where you are today. Now, if you have any professional experience, that's another great thing to highlight.
Especially if it's relevant to my field of study, right?
Definitely. Talk
Yeah.
about the skills you developed, the projects you've worked on, and how your experience has prepared you for graduate studies in Canada.
It's all about connecting the dots between my past experiences and my future goals.
Exactly. And speaking of goals, you need to be crystal clear about your career aspirations. What do you want to achieve after graduation? And how will studying in Canada help you get there?
So don't just say, I want to make a difference in the world, but rather explain specifically what kind of impact I want to make and how this program will equip me with the skills and knowledge to do that.
Right. Show them that you've thought about your future and that this program is a stepping stone to achieving your dreams.
Okay, so we've got our reasons for choosing Canada, our academic background, our work experience, and our career goals. Anything else?
Yes, the financial side of things.
hmm
Briefly mention how you plan to fund your studies. This shows them you're realistic and prepared for the financial commitment.
Solid advice. No, I know a lot of people get tripped up by common SOP mistakes. Can we talk about those so our listeners can avoid them?
Absolutely. One of the biggest mistakes is a lack of structure. A well-organized SOP is easier to read and shows you can think logically.
So no rambling or going off on tangents.
Nope. Think of your SOP as a well-structured essay with a clear introduction, body paragraphs, and a strong conclusion.
It's like building a house. You need a solid foundation and strong supporting walls to hold it all together.
Exactly. Another common mistake is using generic or overused content. Remember, they're looking for what makes you unique.
So instead of saying, I'm a hardworking student, I could share a specific story that demonstrates my work ethic.
Precisely. Show, don't tell.
Yeah.
And another thing to avoid is weak justification for choosing Canada and this specific university.
So instead of just praising their rankings, I should highlight specific faculty members whose research interests me or unique aspects of the program that excite me.
You got it. Show them you've done your homework and that you're genuinely interested in what they have to offer.
Okay, taking notes. What else should we avoid?
Grammatical errors and typos. Your SOP should be polished and professional. So proofread carefully and maybe ask a friend to double check it for you.
It's like showing up to a job interview with a coffee stain on your shirt. You want to make a good first impression?
Exactly. And finally, be wary of unrealistic or unclear career goals.
So saying I want to be the CEO of Google probably isn't the best approach if I'm applying for a master's in history.
You get the idea. Make sure your goals are aligned with your field of study and demonstrate a logical progression.
Got it. So we've covered the essential elements of a Canadian SOP and some common mistakes to avoid. What's next?
Well, let's dive into some more specific tips and tricks to help you write an SOP that truly stands out. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's make this SOP shine.
Okay, so think about this. Your SOP isn't just a list of facts and figures. It's your story. It's your chance to tell the admissions committee who you are beyond those transcripts.
So it's about creating a narrative that captures their attention.
Exactly. Think about those pivotal moments in your life, those experiences that sparked your passion for this field and led you to where you are today.
Like for me, it was that time in high school when I stumbled upon a documentary about climate change. That's when I knew I wanted to dedicate my life to environmental science.
Perfect. See how that personal anecdote adds depth and makes you more relatable. Now remember, you need to show them you've done your homework on their university and program.
So I shouldn't just copy and paste information from their website.
No, no, no. Dig deeper. Find specific faculty members whose research aligns with your interests or unique courses that you're excited about.
Like maybe I could mention a professor who's published groundbreaking work on renewable energy technologies or a research lab that's developing sustainable solutions for urban development.
Exactly. That level of detail shows them you're genuinely interested and that you've put in the effort to learn about what they have to offer.
It's like when you go to a concert and you know all the lyrics to the songs. The band can tell you're a true fan, right?
Uh-huh. Exactly. Now, don't be shy about highlighting your leadership skills and extracurricular activities, too.
Even if they're not directly related to my field of study.
Yes, universities are looking for well-rounded individuals who will contribute to their campus community.
So if I'm applying for a computer science program, but I'm also captain of the debate team, I should definitely mention that.
Absolutely. It shows you have strong communication and teamwork skills, which are valuable in any field.
Okay, good to know. Now, what about career goals? How specific should I be?
You need to be clear about your short-term and long-term aspirations. Paint a picture of where you see yourself after graduation.
So, for instance, if I'm interested in pursuing a career in artificial intelligence, I might mention my goal of working for a leading tech company developing cutting-edge AI solutions for healthcare. Or maybe I could even talk about starting my own AI startup.
See? That's the level of detail they're looking for. It shows you thought about your career trajectory and how this program will help you get there.
Okay, so be specific about my goals. Got it. What else?
Remember to be professional, but also let your personality shine through.
It's kind of like finding the right balance between formal and casual, right? Like, I don't want to sound too stiff, but I also don't want to be overly informal.
Exactly. You want to strike a professional tone while still showcasing your unique voice and enthusiasm for your field.
Got it. Now, I know everyone makes mistakes, but are there any academic blunders I should try to explain or address in my SOP?
Absolutely. If there are any gaps or inconsistencies in your academic record, address them head on.
So, like, if I had a dip in my grades one semester because I was dealing with a personal crisis, I should briefly explain the situation and focus on how I overcame that challenge.
Exactly. It shows resilience and a willingness to learn from your experiences.
Okay, good to know. Now, I'm a bit of a grammar nerd, so this one's important to me. How much emphasis should I put on proofreading and editing?
Oh, it's crucial. Your SOP should be flawless,
Huh.
no typos, no grammatical errors, nothing that makes you look careless or unprofessional.
I totally agree. It's like proofreading is my superpower.
Haha, I love it. And one final tip.
Hmm.
Before you submit your SOP, get feedback from trusted sources like professors, mentors, or friends.
So basically, a fresh pair of eyes to catch any mistakes or areas for improvement.
Exactly. They can provide valuable insights and ensure your SOP is as strong as it can be.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, I'm curious to hear about some real-life success stories. People who nailed their SOPs and got into their dream programs in Canada.
Well, I happen to have some inspiring stories up my sleeve.
Mm.
Are you ready to hear about some SOP makeovers that actually work?
Oh, yeah. Hit me with those success stories.
All right, so let's start with Arjun. He was an engineering grad who wanted to study data science in Canada. But his first SOP draft, it was kind of bland. It lacked personality.
That was missing that special something that makes an SOP stand out.
Exactly. So we helped him weave in some personal anecdotes about his passion for AI. Like he talked about how he built an algorithm to help optimize traffic flow in his city.
Oh, that's cool. So he showed them he could use his skills to solve real-world problems.
Right. And we also helped him research specific companies and labs in Canada that aligned with his interests.
So he personalized it and demonstrated that he'd done his research.
Yep, and guess what? He got accepted into his top choice program at UBC.
Wow, that's amazing. Okay, who's next?
Let's talk about Sinha. She was a marketing professional aiming for an MBA. But her initial SOP was all over the place. It lacked structure and didn't really highlight her achievements.
So she had the experience, but she wasn't showcasing it effectively.
Exactly. So we helped her reorganize her SOP and focus on her career progression. Like we had her talk about specific marketing campaigns she led and the results she achieved.
Oh, I see. So she turned her job descriptions into compelling stories.
Right. And it worked. Sinha got into the Rotman School of Management at U of T. one of the best business schools in Canada.
Another SOP success story. Okay, I'm ready for the last one.
All right, this one's about Rohan. He wanted to go to med school in Canada, but his first SOP was rejected because he didn't really explain why he wanted to study in Canada specifically.
So he didn't make that connection to the Canadian healthcare system and why he wanted to be a part of it?
Right, so we worked with him to articulate his admiration for Canada's universal healthcare system.
Yeah.
He talked about how he volunteered at a free clinic in his home country and how that experience fueled his desire to serve underserved communities.
Ah, so he showed them his values and how they aligned with Canada's healthcare landscape.
Exactly. And you know what? He got accepted into the University of Manitoba's med school.
These stories are so inspiring. It really shows how a well-crafted SOP can make all the difference.
It's true. A strong SOP can help you stand out from the crowd and convince the admissions committee that you're the perfect candidate for their program.
So for everyone listening who's getting ready to apply to study in Canada, what's the one piece of advice you'd give them?
Be authentic. Tell your story. Show them who you are and why you're passionate about your field. And remember, your SOP is an investment in your future. So take your time, do your research, and craft an SOP that truly represents you.
Amazing advice. Thanks for sharing your insights with us today. It's been super helpful.
My pleasure. Good luck to all those future Canadian scholars out there.
That's it for our deep dive into the Canadian SOP. We hope you found it helpful, and we'll see you next time.